Good evening. My name is Amaya Belvin, and I hope your year or semester hasn't been too challenging. To start off, I would like to acknowledge and give thanks to two wonderful professors that helped me this year, both with my online learning and helping me adapt to college learning. I would like to thank my wonderful speech teacher, Professor Grace, and I would also like to thank my amazing sociology teacher, Professor N. I would also like to give a special thanks to the Quest Early College administration and staff for giving me guidance and help where it was needed. And I would also like to give a special thanks to my close friends who have helped me emotionally and physically, and also helped me adapt to online learning. We have had a lot of things this year affect our lives that are both serious and not so bad. But most importantly, we've had a worldwide virus that wasn't so good. But as S.J. Bradford once said, with darkness comes light. And there was so much good that came from this virus, such as learning new things and overcoming them. Some of you might have learned or picked up a new skill or two, or maybe have learned some tricks or new styles of learning that was either for you or not so good for you. Regardless of our struggles we had this year, we all came together and worked together for the better of us. I am not going to be that person today that said it was an easy cakewalk this semester, because this semester I truly myself struggled with the most that I've ever had. Being a virtual student, or an online student as most would call it, where everything was online, and it had a very negative impact on me for the first 3 weeks of school. Sometimes it still does, but not being able to raise my hand and ask for help or get some help from teachers in an area that I might be struggling more and get that one-on-one learning had a very bad effect on me every day. The first 3 weeks of school, as I said earlier in my presentation, were the hardest and they were not giving me that one-on-one attention that I needed. While my parents were at work and my brother was at school, I struggled to figure out how a virtual student learn and achieve success. With a few administrative members from Quest Early College High School and my close friends, I had virtual learning down in no time. And by no time, I mean after a month. Being a virtual student has allowed me to access adventure and to new things and see what I can do myself. I even figured out maybe a new hobby or two. I figured out what happened when I learned by myself, and I figured out what works for me and what doesn't. I just wanted to see what was designed for me. I also, in my spare time, started looking into colleges, majors, and maybe even careers that I can do in the future. I narrowed down some potential careers that I had in mind. Learning to adapt and develop new skills for online students was very interesting, saying that I was only 16 and going to a Lone Star campus. It really gave me insight into what it would look like for a college student, or what it would look like for me after senior year. Thank you for attending today's speech. This is my final speech in my speech program with Professor Grace. I would like to once again give Professor Morgan Grace my undivided thanks, and give her thanks for her help in my journey of online success. I would also like to give thanks to my two loving parents, Mr. and Mrs. Belvin, and also give thanks to my brother Benny for also being there and giving me help along the way. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy your evening.